I was actually preparing a shot, a dramatic sequence of taking her off the fabric, but she left. It's like, I'm not fired, I quit.
I win.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. This is beer. I just wanted to look bougie. My hair feels as chaotic as my personality. So I went to the hairdresser the other day and I told her I just wanted to like trim up and fix my fringe bangs, and that is not what happened. So I turned to my Instagram friends for support, and one of my friends commented flapper ? And I was like, you know, I did ask my subscribers a while back about doing a flapper dress, and I did get some positive feedback, and I just promptly did nothing about it. So I have my handy dandy binder of printed patterns here. Whilst I'm going through a quarter life crisis, I decided, you know what? With my pseudo flapper not asked for hair, I'm finally going to commit and make that flapper dress that I asked about but didn't promise to do. I just asked. It was a leading question, but still. So we're just gonna go ahead and open the... I wanted to say something interesting, but nothing came to mind. Did my wit get cut off with my ends? I love the silhouette of the 1920s fashion for women, mostly because I have a shorter torso, so that drop waist giving me an artificial sort of lengthening of my torso is just chef's kiss. I want to wear this as a summer look because I am impatient and just want to get crap done. So I like this pattern as sort of a base to the next pattern, which is a wedding dress. And I thought, you know, if I wrapped that over top of the other dress, that would look sweet. I got both of them. That is that. So let's head upstairs to the fabric stash and see if anything strikes my fancy, because there's really nothing else motivating this video other than literally everything from like here up, over, and back down again is all my fabric stash. Kind of like your dad's messy office that looks like a complete disaster zone. I know where everything is. Don't touch it. It is hot. Had this material in mind like forever ago for a 1920s dress. It's a nice sort of like buttercream yellow, if that's even a color. I just don't know. Like, I'm not settled on it. I've got so much material. Don't look at this. That's for a different video. That's not for you to see what's inside yet. I don't have an image in my head totally of what I want because I don't like to prepare. I do have this. Would it be a crime to use that? That looks pretty. Ooh, and it's summery. Ooh, I'm getting the vibe. I'm having an apostrophe.
I think you mean an epiphany.
I could totally wear my 20s undies beneath this and it would totally blend. Or just a slip and no one would ever know. I think we have our dress, our main dress. Now we just need our overdress material. I think we'll go with this yellow for the overdress, because being that this is cotton, it'll be cooler than this would, and if I started to feel cold or felt the need to cover up, like the drapiness and just the look of it would look good. Just, ooh! I think I got a vibe going here. We got yellow on white. Heck yeah! I like this. Let's go. Man, no one said the stairway to heaven would make you so thirsty. Oh man, that was a hot journey. Which Dante also didn't say about heaven. Although there were walls of fire, but I find that I make more sense the more I drink. We are going to get this paper pattern all cut up and ready to be put on the material, and while I'm doing that, I'm gonna wash the material. Per usual, since I have no planning skills whatsoever when it comes to these videos, no matter how hard I try, it's like 5 o'clock. Actually, I think it's like 6. Okay, it's 6:20. I will probably see you tonight after all that is done and it's dark out. But I work night shift, so I am one with the night. Smallest pattern I've ever printed. Also, slight PSA, if you do not have a very good printer, you're gonna end up with some wonky lines. But you know what? As long as everything as part of the actual pattern lines up correctly, you can work through it. Basically, my dining room is my impromptu sewing studio. We hardly eat in here anyway. So I put this in the washer at 6:30, and it is only now finished because our washer is janky, and if we're not giving it our full undivided attention every 5 minutes, it takes way longer than is necessary to get anything done. You might hear some nighttime noises. Just imagine I'm playing ASMR, but really it's because this house is roasting and we don't have central air. At first I thought, you know, this is rather short. Once I actually read the instructions, I realized that I have to add in the skirt piece. It is not included in the pattern. The pattern piece is for a 30-inch waist, and I am not a 30-inch waist. I am 30-ish, but those are not my inches around my midsection. That's gonna need a little bit of space. Excuse me, why do you guys have to be the center of attention? Throwing off my groove. You know what happens when the groove is thrown off? You get tossed out the window. Just kidding, I would never do that, but I am tossing you off the table. Now, like America's favorite go-to meal, I'm gonna cut this like it was a pizza. Yes, I was cutting straight onto the table. It was already damaged before we moved here, so I just couldn't be bothered. I was actually preparing a shot, a dramatic sequence of taking her off the fabric, but she left. It's like, I'm not fired, I quit.
I win.
Do you guys mind if I turn the fan on in this literal sweatshop? Okay, thanks. Also, can I get paid? Does anyone else sew with one shoe on? I think I'm in love. I love it. I love the silhouette it's giving, and like, oh, sorry, eyes up here. So tomorrow I have to get a long zipper, and I also need to attach bottom of the skirt, but
You're not making money standing there gawking at yourself.
when the sun goes down, that's when Jennies come around. It is once again nighttime. Therefore, it is time to get to work. I did get a invisible zipper. I don't have a presser foot that's designed for invisible zippers, and I've not had much luck with trying to pin them on and then sew it down. So I got some heat and bond that I thought I could put on the back side of the zipper, iron it down, and then sew it. Level with you. Even though I'm completely in love with my 1920s dress that we made a video on, I'm not going to be taking it out again. Have you looked at my table? Not exactly the most clean surface to be putting a 100-year-old dress on. I am going to take inspiration from that dress. One of the details I absolutely loved about the Gatsby dress is that it had this scalloped skirt instead of it being a straight across edge. That's something I want to try to do with this. I know that's ambitious, so moving on to phase 2. Since one of these pattern pieces is literally half of the front or the back, that I want to have like 3 scallops, which makes 6 per side. To start, I measured the width of each panel, then calculated the maximum width at the top of each scallop. And because I'm a perfectionist, I used the width of a corresponding saucer to get a rounded top of the scallop. In this case, it was an heirloom from my grandma. Then I just simply extended the lines down to the corner of the paper. And because no skirt is a straight line, I used the pattern to find the curve for the hemline. As I put the DIY scallop piece onto the pattern where I wanted the skirt to meet the top, I then proceeded to futz about putting notes all over it. I would love to describe to you the process of my thinking here, but I simply don't remember. Sorry about that. think my scissors are a little thick and not like in a cool way. Makes me think of the Loki hair flip. Tom's looks way cooler. So I have all of the skirt scallops ironed. They were super annoying to iron and I still didn't get all the wrinkles out. That's fine, it's whatever, because when I'm walking, nobody's gonna notice our care. Shall not be cutting any of the top material until I know for certain that these scallops are actually going to work out. Thus far, they look pretty good. What I'm trying to figure out now is, do I sew 2 scallops together first and then put it onto the dress? Or do I put it onto the dress and then sew the scallops? Since my brain came up with this concept, my brain needs to actually engineer how to put it together. May or may not have been a good idea.
Donnie, low runner.
Go. This is how it's looking. The skirt came out of me noggin spontaneously and it actually worked. It is now currently 5 a.m. and I work tonight. Fortunately, my job is a sit-down position. So what I think I might do is take this to work with me and sew it on. And then after that's done, I can put it on the actual machine. Then the base dress will be done and we can move on to the overdress. My brain is starting to turn off and the battery on my camera is dying. That is my cue to exit and go to bed, and I will see you in the next sequence of this video. Don't know why I'm pointing at you with my weight. What I have to say is weighty and important. Not really. I need to go to bed. To appreciate something. It is a fact, universally acknowledged, that there are 2 things that I hate the most when it comes to sewing. It's not hard, it's not difficult, but I just hate doing it. I hemmed the bottom of this dress. It took a part of my soul away to do it. I'm glad I did it. The dress looks much more complete and finished. It killed me to do it. Next step is the overdress. Oh, what enthusiasm. I actually had to work the next 3 nights, so we are going to skip ahead to the first day off I had to look at the pattern for the overdress. You know, I'm actually pretty glad that it's back to school season because I'm gonna need a new binder. This one's getting pretty hefty with all of my patterns in it. Time to go back to school shopping, except for my hobbies. But you know what? This is educational, right? We're learning things together. Except we wouldn't be learning things together, as my eyes were nearly blinded by the light after 4 night shifts in a row. I think Shelob came up and bit me. Nothing to worry about though. Someday my prince will come.
I'm right here.
Good evening. This pattern for the overdress is never ending. I feel like I've used half a ream of paper. This is an unusual pattern to me because there are pieces that overlap pieces. So you'd have to cut this piece out and have basically bodice shaped holes in the third piece. I'm running out of table to put this pattern on. The other weird thing about this pattern is there's numbers on the pieces, but it doesn't say what they're for. So I'm getting a little confused here and I'm running out of daylight, which isn't usually an issue for me, but I do have to be up in the morning, so I can't stay up all night working on this, and I'm beginning to freak out because I'm afraid I'm gonna run out of time or something. Standing here whining to you about it is not going to get the job done any faster, so let's just keep going with this crazy train. Alright, I want to see if I'm wrong in this. If this is the center back and it runs the length of the skirt, why not just put it on the fold? Why make it so large? Why not save paper? This is so unnecessary. Certainly happy to see you again. Very on brand, very wanting to be the center of attention.
You look cute with your little parasol.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Regency corset underneath this. If only our skin could be tightened as easily.